Hey, what's up guys, voiceover VENZ to bring you a speed build, which is something I kind of want to like experiment with because I really enjoyed making this video. It's very fun. Kind of just gotta like relax, build some cars, let my creative juices flow, if you will. And yeah, if you enjoy this style of video, please let me know because it was really fun to make. I really enjoyed it. It took a while, and now I'm editing it, so I don't know how much longer it's gonna take, but I actually really enjoyed this. So hopefully other people will enjoy what I did here. So basically what I'm doing is I have a brand called Falcon Motors. I'm gonna give you a little bit of lore on that. So in the 1900s they were founded in Detroit, Michigan, like all of the good car brands, and they just decided we're gonna start building cars. And after World War II they started like building cars, like good cars. And yeah, so that's their thing. And they also dropped the motors part in the 50s. And I made up this brand a few days ago when I was doing a challenge for the automation discourse. And it's called Corporate Schmorprit, and you just build a really boring car for fleet sales, or I think it's for a company to buy the cars. And I made a car called the Falcon Olympia because I couldn't figure out a name. I was like, oh, American, something American, because I wanted to build like a boring American car. There's a picture of it on screen. And so I just decided Falcon and then name it Olympia. Olympia's a town in Washington, I think. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I got the Falcon brand from a modern car, and I decided how would we go back in time a little bit to the 70s, which is like the era I'm really good at designing cars and I really enjoy. So yeah, I just built like a whole like lineup from the 70s. And this first vehicle is the 1970 Falcon Skylane Deluxe. This is the deluxe version, also known as literally the base model. It's just a base model. It's powered by a 2.8 liter inline 6, makes about 113 horsepower. It's relatively smooth. It's okayish on gas, even though it has a 3-speed automatic, and the third gear is just a giant overdrive. But yeah, it's a good car for the time. I showed my dad, and he was like, oh yeah, that would sell 100%. I made a bunch of versions of it, like a wagon and a convertible that we'll see later. And I'm actually very proud of how it came out, especially this first one. It looks pretty good. And what I'm doing in the video, it's not going to match up to what I'm saying because it's lagging like so bad. But basically, I'm just kind of building the car. I do the interior, stuff like that. That's how I messed up my my voice recording, my voiceover the other time, is because I was basing it on what was going on the little preview, and the preview was not accurate at all because it sped up so fast. It sped up at 13 times right now, and it's about 10 seconds behind. Like, I'm saying stuff, and then like 10 seconds later, like what I say corresponds to the video. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video like I said already, and I'm gonna be quiet for the rest of this build, and I'll come back for the start of the second one. Alright, that's the first build done, and as you can see, came out pretty well. It kind of turned out as a AMC Ambassador, which was pretty based on, especially the rear right there, was really based on an AMC Ambassador. I almost took that completely from an AMC Ambassador, a 1971 model. And yeah, what can I say? It's a burgundy land yacht, basically. Next build. Alright, so the second version of the Skylane that I made was the SC, which is just the V8 base model coupe. So it goes from the Skylane Deluxe, which is an inline-6 sedan, and then it goes to this, the special coupe, the SC, which is just a 6.4 liter V8 with I think it has like 160 horsepower. It's pretty okay engine, and the car is relatively good looking. It's a coupe, like I said. Still a 3-speed automatic. Still meant to be luxurious. A little bit more expensive than the Deluxe. And yeah, this is the one I built right after it. And like I said, the video is super not connected. But built the engine, tuned the car up a little bit, made it a little bit better of a car, just in case I want to drive them in beam and I don't want it to be a completely horrible car. I also made the top speed settings slightly realistic. I was building these cars realistic into like a realistic standard. Kinda. Maybe. As you can see, I'm messing around with the gearing a lot. I took the overdrive, like, just straight out of it. And as you can see, I still have the original Deluxe body. I'm gonna start messing with that in a second, if I haven't already, if this video isn't showing me the correct thing. And I also changed the interior, the premium, and yeah, and then I start designing it again. Turn it to a coupe body. For a while, I didn't really know what color to pick. None of the colors really not gravitated, but none of them really jumped out at me. And I found some wheels that look good, and the wheels look good in that gray color. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this like little gray color. I had to move some things around, make it look a little bit better. And yeah, it's basically the only difference between this and Deluxe. I keep forgetting my own car names. It's kind of weird. And also, it's really funny if you want to hear like the raw audio. It's just me listening to the music and sneezing and singing every once in a while. It's kind of fucking funny. I might release an entire clip of one of these builds as an unlisted video and put it in the description if you want to like listen to music with me or something. I don't know. But yeah, and now I'm just kind of sitting there. I was probably texting somebody because I think I did that a couple times where I just kind of left the game running and went and did something. Probably took a shit or something. And yeah, so that's almost it for that car, and I'll show you guys some completed pictures in a minute here. Alright, so here's the completed pictures of the SC. As you can see, it's just a coupe version, a little bit more sporty, has a nice looking ass, no homo. I guess this car is a guy, I'm not really sure. It's sexy though, and this picture's like weirdly good looking. I don't know why. That's a really good looking picture. The car just looks correct in that picture. And yeah, next build. And alright, here's the next build, which is kind of like a muscle car. I gave it a bigger engine. I gave it a 440 6-pack, very Chrysler. Changed it around a little bit, and this is just the muscle car. As you see, I'm building the engine. I think the video is synced up to what I'm saying now. See, I gave it a 6-pack, tuned it all up, made it run nice, gave it enough power to be considered a muscle car, and I changed it to a 4-speed manual, I believe. And I changed the interior to make it a 4-speed manual as well, which you really can't see in any of the pictures, but you know, I know that I did it, which makes me happy. Yeah, still, it took me a little bit to actually tune this engine up. I wanted like 410 horsepower, but it only came out with like a 380 something. I mean, this is a 440, like, come on. And then I just redid the suspension tuning, made it a tiny bit lower, messed with the gearing, changed the color, found a nice orange, made the roof a nice black. The white didn't really work, kind of looked like an ice cream cone when I did that. I want this car to be a little bit more muscular and aggressive, not an ice cream cone. And so first thing you had to do, change the wheels. And all I really changed on this is the wheels, the badging, the front grille. I gave it a little lip spoiler, which I'm doing right now. Hopefully I'm talking about the correct thing. And then I made some nice exhaust out the back. And the little chrome trim on the bottom wasn't really cooperating, so I had to fix that real quick. And I removed the V8 badges. Actually, I did that after. One of the pictures has the V8 badges still in it. And then also I know I spelled Stallion wrong. My bad. I'm kind of brain dead. I put 6-pack badging everywhere because, you know, realistically that would be like the selling point of this car. It has a 6-pack, you know. I mean, that was a big Dodge selling point. And then I gave it a little GT badge since this is the Stallion GT. And up later, we actually have an actual car by Stallion called the GT. Just the GT. It's kind of a Camaro. It's literally a Camaro. Just uglier, I think. I gave it a little shaker hood. I'm not really sure how I feel on it. I think it looks alright. I think it's a little too small. I didn't want it to be too big though. Oh, there go clutch pedals. Well, pedals with clutch, not clutch pedals. And there is your 4 on the floor with and bucket seats. I forgot to put bucket seats in there. And then yeah, now I'm taking pictures of it. And now I'm staring at the floor, and now I'm taking pictures. And yeah, time for me to show you the completed pictures, I guess. I mean, you can already see them here, but like, closer look. And here's the completed build. It's really not much again, but it's a little bit wider than the sedan and the SE version. And it's got different wheels, and a little lip spoiler, you know, bigger exhausts. See, I took the little V8 badge off there. And yeah, it's an overall cool car. You know, it's manual, it's got a 440, this would sell. This would honestly sell. And this next build that's coming up after this is probably my favorite. It's really strangely cool. You'll see. Alright, so this next build is called the Redwood, and it is a wood-paneled wagon. And I think that is awesome. It's like every single 80s family had one of these things, probably. Kids, boomers will remember growing, or millennials. I think it's millennials. I don't know generations. I'm Gen Z or Gen X or Gen stupid TikTok people. Hot takes. But every millennial, I think, probably remembered a friend whose parents owned one of these, who drove one of these as their first car. You know, something like that, you know. A car that people can attach really good memories to. I think it has the same engine as the Deluxe, that 3.8 liter or 2.8 liter inline 6, just an inline 6, and it's a wagon. I don't know what else you want me to say. And I changed the color from green to white because the green wasn't really looking good with the wood paneling, so I changed it to white and had lighter wood paneling or darker wood paneling, and I made it look a lot better. As you can see, I never used wood paneling before, but I think I used it twice on this vehicle and a whole set of vehicles that you'll be seeing in a few minutes here. And I didn't really like the look of like the green and then like the brown. I mean, it kind of goes with the theme of it being like a adventurous wagon, like a family wagon, but it wasn't really doing it for me. So in a few minutes, or a few seconds actually, I changed the color to white and darkened up the wood, and then there you go. It looks a lot better. Gave it a roof rack and stuff, as you saw earlier. That's about it. It's just really cool, and different wheels and stuff. It's like, I don't know why, but if I had a choice of all these vehicles, I think I actually might pick this one just because of how cool it is. And since it's like the same chassis, same frame, same body, like basically as like the muscle cars, well, the muscle car, I can just put the 440 in it, you know. And since this is a larger brand, I'm making it out to be a larger brand. You can just go online, click, buy a Falcon 440 6-pack and put it in your Redwood. Give it some nice, like nice steel wheels, nice steel race wheels type things, and there you go. Lower it just a tiny bit. Actually, I feel like I'm gonna make that build now. I really want to make that build now. That would be kind of awesome. So I might do that. Yeah, I might do that. Just for fun. And then yeah, it took me a while to do this wood paneling, not gonna lie. Because all like the shapes don't really mesh together if you do it wrong. And so it definitely took a while. And then I got the back paneled up, but then like the corner right there wasn't really like fitting properly, so I had to 3D place some, and 3D placing like very flat fixtures like this is always kind of a nightmare. So I had to make a really small and place a bunch of them. You can see me struggling with that for a few minutes. And yeah, see, struggling with it. So I just decided, fuck it, and just 3D placed one. Got confused for a second. Remember that little corner piece wasn't actually mirrored to the other side. And then there's the 3D placed one. I make it a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if it fits correctly, but it looks good from afar, so don't look at it too close. And yeah, and I was looking at it, I was like, hey, looks a little bit too empty. And I was like, I mean, there's a bunch of space here. Why don't we just advertise that this is a Skylane? And so I did. I'll put a little handle on there too in a second after I finish putting the lettering on. I was like, where do I put it? And I was like, you know, on the side. Have like a side opening one. That'll be pretty cool. And then change that, just to completely take off the extra badge. And here we are, now into me taking pictures for like 20 minutes of the car. Yeah. So I'll show you the completed pictures now. This build actually turned out so good. I mean, it's just a wagon. It's just a wagon version of the Deluxe with wood paneling, but the wood paneling 100% brings it all together. And the side profile is honestly really nice looking. So I'm really proud of it. So like, let's just look at this for a second. Like in silence, let's just admire. I love it. I want it. This
Alright, here's the last version of the Skylane, which has the same V8 from the SC. But this one is the fancy one, the one that everybody's like, whoa,
really nice.
You have a Skylane Select?
I'm really proud of it.
Please, fuck my wife.
Just look at this
Something like that.
Like in silence, it's just
kind of sound
just
like Mr.
admire.
Regular there. I didn't mean that, but it came out like that.
And I was like,
Convertible, that's what
I
we're
want it.
doing. We're gonna make it a nice blue color. Nice, kind of sophisticated, like, but playful blue.
sound like a salesperson. I guess is kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of like showing off my car. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of everything I made today. Except for maybe the car we'll see later. Probably needs some work. But I had to remove a bunch of the stuff to make it look better. Just a little bit. And I used the same thing that I used to make like the trunk carpet. I used that as the convertible top where it goes when you fold it. Why I'm having so many brain farts. I'm sorry. And then I had to remove like all the windows, and I had to remove those stupid little lights I put in. And I took the dog tape or whatever this mod is. I think it's something like dog tape. And I just removed all the windows, which is actually pretty easy. Usually it's harder than this, but I guess this car is so like rectangular that it was pretty easy. And then after that, I kind of noticed that something was missing, and that it kind of looked a little bit strange if I just kind of delete everything. So I decided to put like a little smoker window on it. A lot of convertibles did have those back in the day, so I decided, hey, I'll make a little chrome piece going down like it's a little pillar. So I did, and then I noticed that these pillars don't actually show from the other side, so I kind of just copy and pasted the same pillar but rotated it so it gives itself its own back, and it ended up looking really good. And I really liked it. Oh, I also had to change the stupid mirror because this is floating there in midair. And this car just, I mean, this car, like honestly, all these cars look really good. I feel like I'm actually like hitting my stride when it comes to my designs. They're actually getting relatively good. Don't want to like, you know, toot my own horn and all that, but I feel like I'm doing a lot better. If you're watching this far, please let me know if you think I am doing better, because I think I am, definitely. And then I was messing with trying to do like a crossbar across the top of the windshield and bumper bars, which I kind of use a lot. I use these bumper bars a lot. They're really good for the kind of detail I do. And also, there's some random holes in like the body work, and like that little blinker in the back wasn't cooperating with the body. And I was trying to figure that out for a while, and I couldn't really tell what was going on, because on each side it was like bugging out. Like if you place it on like the left side, it would bug out on the right side would bug out on the left side. And so I decided to place 2 of them at the same time, and then it was all like, it's fixed. And I was like, what? How? And it fixed itself as soon as I placed one over the other one. And so I just kind of left that one there, and then put reverse dog tape over it again. Or maybe this is like the normal dog tape and the other one's reverse dog tape. I'm not really sure. But as you can see, I'm just kind of looking at it, figuring out what to do next. And then I was looking at the windshield. I was like, I can make this look a little bit better. So I tried. I'm not sure if it really worked. I think it did a little bit. It's kind of hard to work with those angles that are really skinny but kind of change direction a lot, especially when it's also a hard like angle to look at. So I didn't really go all the way with it. I just made it look enough so it's like substantial enough that you can see it from far-ish away, and it will look a lot better. I had to get really close in there, and I don't know of any way to have like a better camera control. So I did my best on this. And now the next like vehicle we're gonna be doing is a pickup truck, and it's called the T100. I know it's kind of rip off of Ford, like the F100, the F150, F250, F350, and it's called T because truck. And yeah, now we're gonna be going to the pictures for the Falcon Skylane Select, and then yeah. And here is the convertible version of the Skylane. It's called the Select only because I have that badge that I can put on easily. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to stuff like that. And I'm really proud of it. It looks like what it is. The one thing I probably could have improved on in like these cars were the front grille and the front fascia. Could have looked a little bit better. And now here's a picture of them all together. Oh, how cute. It's a family photo. And here we are on our second of third vehicles. And this is just a generic pickup truck, you know, one from the 70s. Think like a Ford F-150, F-250, something like that. Has a 6-cylinder engine in this base version called the SL. I think it's a really cool looking truck, actually. And there's one version that I would die to have in real life. It's honestly so cool. And I don't really know what to say at this point. Except for I named it, not we, but I guess we, since you're watching this. I named it the T100. I kind of ripped that off from like Ford with the F-150, the F-250, F-350. But I thought T100, T stands for truck. Thought that kind of works. And I don't really know what the trim levels mean. I made the SL, the XL, and the XL390, and the XL390 Canyon, and the XL390 Station. You'll see what all those mean later. But the base model is the SL, which is the one I'm working on right now, and I'm just kind of building the engine for. And I was looking at a sheet that showed all the specs for a 1970 Ford F-250, and I wanted to beat it. I made the same engine size, same engine displacement, and I wanted to get more than, I think it was 100 and wait, what was it? I think it was 275 torque and like 155 or like 255 horsepower, something like that. And I ended up going a little bit over, so that means I beat Ford, and it's reliable, so maybe I beat Ford. That's pretty cool. And it just kind of took me a while to get this engine going. I had to look up how to make torque. I had to keep rebuilding the engine, making it a completely different engine. Made the body look a little bit better. I was kind of playing with it, seeing what I could do. This one's kind of like a short bed version. It's a 3-speed manual as well, column shift 3-speed. And this one's also 2-wheel drive, but all the other ones are 4-wheel drive. And I was kind of trying to make it a cheaper truck, as this is the base model, and the other ones are way more expensive. So I kind of just, you know, tuned it for utility, as they would buy this for a farm truck, a work truck, stuff like that. And as you can see, I'm checking the utility stats, seeing what's wrong with it. So I gave it a 4-speed for a second. I think I changed it back to a 3-speed, and if I didn't, oh well. I realistically probably would have a 3-speed. And I had a complete overdrive gear again, just to keep the top speed realistic for time and what it is. It's a fucking giant truck with a 6-cylinder, and it's 1970. I pretty sure it wouldn't go like 150, so I just kind of made it realistic. I think it tops out at like 100, maybe 105 at most. And I'm just still working on the car, doing the brakes, trying to get the brakes working, still looking at the utility stats, trying to see why it has low utility. And I gave it some more realistic tires. I was looking for a while, and I couldn't figure out what color to do. I was looking at that blue, and then I just kind of went with a white, a nice plain white. Since this, again, is the base model, I wanted to have like a nice non-offensive color for all the farmers and the construction companies that were going to buy this thing. And now I'm designing it, and I knew I wanted to have like a big square grill, since I kind of started that design language of square grills and circular lights, and the name, the Falcon brand name, in the middle of the grill. I started that with the Skylane, and I continued that through all the vehicles I built today. And as you see, I'm putting in these lights. At first I thought these lights were a little too big, and then I looked a little bit closer and I was like, they're fine. Closed off the grill behind the lights, make it look a little bit better. Gave it a little grill bar to separate the lights from the grill. Put some cross sections, kind of made it look more like a Dodge Ford. It's kind of strange. And then I put some indicators or blinkers inside the grill, which is kind of a very AMC thing to do. This Falcon company is very inspired from AMC, which is one of my favorite American companies. It's sad that they stopped existing so fast. Wish they were around today, honestly. They could have made some really cool cars. The Javelin is very underrated. Actually, maybe it isn't, because they're kind of rare and expensive at this point. I've never even seen a Javelin in real life. Actually, that's a lie. I've seen one, and it was a piece of shit. Yeah, it was sitting in a field for like 30 years. But I'm putting the name on the front, and I wasn't really sure if I liked that bumper, and I was kind of leaving a little bit of empty space. So I made a little bit of bigger bumper, and I made my own custom little bars for it. It definitely looks a lot better. I think I moved it up a little bit later as well. I gave it a nice hood line. That was a thing on these trucks. One of my friends has a truck very similar to this, and it had those hood lines on it. Gave it some little cooling at the back of the engine on top of the hood, some windshield wipers, and indicator on the side right next to the door, because I believe I remember a truck having that, one of these old 70s trucks. I'm yawning. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Put a big badge for the SL badging, because I mean, this is like one of the only like brand, like non-brand badging on this truck. Gave it a nice little handle with a lock. Gave it some utility mirrors, kind of large, which is good. Fuel tank on the bed. And then I was kind of not sure where to put the exhaust pipe, but I decided, side exit, kind of like mid side exit, hidden under the body. So, and it's kind of high up there, so if you're going off road, doesn't scrape. I mean, this truck is rear-wheel drive. I don't really know if you would go off road on it, or not on it, but in it. And then I put those other bars in the back. I think I changed them later. They don't really look that good. And at this point in the build, I was looking at pictures of a 1970 Ford F-150 Ranger, or maybe it was an F-250. I'm not sure. And I looked at what made the tailgate look good, and it was like these weird cross sections that I put on here. I was kind of trying to do my best to make it have like depth to it. I wasn't really sure how to really do it, but you know, I did it. And then again, I put the Falcon name across the back of the tailgate in a second here. And then right here I'm making custom lights, because I don't think there's any lights that were going to suit my need for like a utilitarian, cheap looking 70s truck light, so I did it myself. And then did the blinker as well, which I kind of could have just used a normal vanilla blinker, but I guess I didn't feel like it or something. And then now I'm putting the badge on. And I think I was debating for a while if I was going to put T100 or Falcon and then T100, but I just kind of settled on just having it say Falcon, because I guess we're really big into like advertising that, hey, you see this cool truck over here? It's a Falcon. You should buy one yourself. So I did that. Oh, I did put T1000 on the truck. I put it right there next to the SL badge. I forgot if I did that in the other models, not this one. And then I was going to put some chrome on it. I'm still doing the little badges, the T100 badges on the side. And I think after that, then I put the chrome on. And maybe, because this clip is coming to an end in a second here, maybe I straight up went AFK for like an hour and then came back and did it. Oh yeah, this clip is ending. I'm gonna have to keep my thing going. Okay, now I had to find the other clip of me putting the chrome on and finishing up the first version of this truck. The first version always takes way longer because it's like the base for all the other vehicles, and all I have to change is just like the engine and some certain features that would make it a better version of the version it is, if that makes any sense. And so then I was looking at the bed and I was like, empty. Looks very empty. And I was like, trucks have wooden beds. Trucks of these years have wooden beds with like little wooden sliders. I think they're called. I'm not actually sure, but they're like little, not wooden, but they're metal sliders, like these metal things that are just in it. And I was like, I'm gonna make a wooden bed. And I gotta say, it actually turned out really well. My girlfriend doesn't like trucks. I showed her a picture of the truck and the bed was in the picture, and she was like, wow, that actually, I like the wood you put in there. And I was like, thank you, it does look really good. And this is the second time I use these wood panels ever. And then after I got that little rail down there, I was like, doesn't really look that good. I eventually switched it out with just a straight up bumper bar, which I use a lot in these builds. I use bumper bars for like almost like everything, it seems. Like the tailgate pieces of the tailgate are bumper bars. That's a bumper bar. That's a bumper bar. Everything's a bumper bar. Let's see, there we go. Bumper bar comes to the rescue again. Turns into the metal slider things. And then I put some up the back, which I'm not sure if that is done, but it gives it a little bit more detail, so I think it looks pretty good. And that is something I have to keep changing when there is different bed sizes of truck, which I do later when we go into the other versions of these trucks. And then other than that, there's really nothing going on with this truck at all. I want it to be really basic, bare bones on the inside, so I kind of made my own custom dashboard, which I'm not good at. I took this one, which is supposed to be from the 80s, but you know, that's only 10 years away, and I tried to make it look as, you know, bare bones and retro as I could, so I did. I put some wood on it later, I think. And then I got a steering wheel or something. I don't really know what I'm looking for at this point. Oh, a little radio. Put a little radio in there. Put it in the middle, hanging off the dash. I was looking for a correct steering wheel. I couldn't really find one. And I found this one, took out the middle part, and it's just a nice basic steering wheel. I made it a little bigger, I believe. Yeah, made it a little bigger because, you know, back in those days they had gigantic steering wheels for some reason. And then I just made a bench seat, gave it some interesting colors, kind of black and brown and white, which is kind of a very 70s looking pattern. I did that, put some more wood paneling on this truck to make it look older, I guess. and put it over that little dashboard thing just to make it look, you know, a little bit more detailed. I was like, I don't know if this truck would have a tachometer, but I did give it a speedometer, but that comes up later. I'm putting on the door cards now, making them nice and big. And then after the door cards, I think I put on the windy windows. I hope I put on the windy windows. Yes, the windy windows. Windy windows to me are like pop-up lights. They're awesome. Like, who doesn't love windy windows? And then I was looking around for something to close up this dashboard gap that cars always get when you put a dashboard in. So I did that. Put a little rear view mirror in it. A little tiny one, just enough so you can see. And then I wanted to put a speedometer in, like I was talking about a few seconds ago. And then I was like, oh, where would it go? Because that steering wheel kind of gets in the way. I decided just kind of mount it above the steering wheel, and I lower the steering wheel down a tiny bit. And yes, I know the steering wheel, the speedometer says it's in kilometers, but this truck would obviously use miles per hour, because miles per hour is the best measurement that we have. Then I hid the body so I could see what I was doing better when I'm putting in the floor. I plopped in a floor, and there's the floor. And then after that I finished up, got a yawn, I finished up, put in the pedals. Got them all situated nicely. I don't know why they're curved so much, so I kind of uncurved them, made it a little bit smaller. Got them to where they needed to be. And then I put the gear shifter on the steering column, which I thought was realistic. I didn't put any blinker stocks. I just remember that now. Oops. No blinker stocks. And then I gave it a nice little handle to open the door. And yeah, a nice license plate, and I think that was it for the SL version of the truck. And here are the completed pictures of the 1970 Falcon. I almost forgot the company's name. I really need to take a nap or go to sleep or something. And there's the completed pictures. It's the base model of the truck. And next up, we're making the XL, which is like the extended cab. And this version is called the XL, if I'm correct. Yeah, I call it the XL 390. Also, it's not just the XL, it's the XL 390, because I made a whole new engine. It's a 390, so that's cool. Because I was also looking at a Ford F-250 spec sheet, and the top of the line model has a 390. From the 70s. 1970 Ford F-250 had a 390 as the biggest engine you can get, but then later it turned to a 400. And then the generation after this truck, I'll do like that. So I'm gonna go. It's gonna be generational. Like every generation of these cars, I'll make a video like every month or so of doing generations of these cars. And so I'm just building the engine here, making it rev good and have enough torque and good power graphs and all that stuff, fuel mixture and all that. And this video is going to be slightly long. I just noticed I'm at 39 minutes, and we have half a truck to finish and a whole nother vehicle to finish. So yeah, maybe I'll finish the truck and then have the GT, the next vehicle we're going to do. We're going to have the GT as its own separate video. I gave it a nice blue color. Kind of ripping off Ford right there with that color, not gonna lie. It's a very Ford color. Looks very nice though, especially in the sun when I do outside pictures in a second here. And I don't think I had to fix, I'm not sure if I had to fix the bed yet, but I also gave it a different exhaust since it is a V8 now, and I gave it dual exhaust. I added more wood to the back because I did make it an extended bed, long bed or whatever, medium bed, something bed. And then yeah, I did have to fix the bed, as you can see. Made everything line up better, brought those things back to the back, fix the logo on the back, added a really shitty small seat to the back. And then California plate, old California plate, changed the front to white, made it say XL on the side, Gave it nice little white stripes, not the band, but just white stripes in general. And I think that really ties the truck together. It's a very 70s thing to have like these kind of stripes on your car or truck. Like my dream pickup truck in real life, as boring as it sounds, is you know, a late 80s or like an early 90s Ford F-250 red with like the red and white two-tone with the white in the middle. It's very cool. And I would rather have a diesel with like a manual diesel non-turbo, you know, because you don't need that much of a truck. And anyways, here comes the pictures. Sorry, I went off. All I really gotta say about this truck right here is, like, honestly, the colors. Like, the color is so nice. I love the color. It is so nice. That's literally it. That's all that I'm going to say about this truck. On to the next one, which is the really cool one. Now, this one is the most badass version of a stock truck you could buy when this truck came out. This is the Canyon. Whoa. Not a GMC Canyon. I promise, I forgot the GMC Canyon existed. And as you can see, I'm kind of making it a little bit bigger, a little bit more beefier, lifted, stuff like that. I mean, honestly, this truck is so cool. Like, I love this truck. I like all these trucks and all these vehicles I made today, but this one is honestly sick. This one still has the freaking 90. It's all-wheel drive. It's a 4-speed manual, column shift, and it has a roll bar with lights. Not KC lights. I wish they were KC lights, but that's kind of an aftermarket thing. I just made a light bar with some like off-road lights on top. I mean, it looks awesome. And fun fact, when I was building this, I was watching a Plainly Difficult video about some actors that got kidnapped and forced to make North Korean movies, and apparently the movies weren't that bad. Random fun fact there. I wasn't listening. I was listening to music as well, but I had it turned down a tiny bit so I can, you know, listen to Plainly Difficult. I like history. History's cool. That's kind of off topic as well. I've been saying a lot as well. My bad. But there I am, putting on the roof lights. I don't know why I'm singing about roof lights. And I'm giving them little stalks. And I just noticed that roll bar is kind of useless since it's lower than the roof line, but you know, shh, we don't care. And then I gave it a little push bumper or rock bumper, whatever you want to call that bumper. Looks really nice on there. I was looking at making a rear bumper different, but I decided to keep it the same. I'm yawning. I gave it 2 little lights in the front as well. Look at those cute little lights. Oh, 4 lights. I forgot I put 4 lights on the front too. Whoa, we got 8 searchlights on this thing. And then I decided that I wanted more like chunkier tires that the game didn't have. So I put on custom tires, and if you notice in the pictures of this truck, the wheels aren't turned. And all the other ones, almost the wheels are all turned. I was going to put that all-terrain badge on the back, but that badge kind of looked like it was a late 80s, mid 90s type of badge, so I decided not to. That will come later, trust me. Yeah, I'm kind of smacking my lips a lot. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. And then I changed it to a nice black color. I was looking around, couldn't really figure out one, so I gave it this like blackish dark gray, and I kept the white stripes on it. And here comes the pictures. Maybe for just for fun build, I'll make another video of these cars, just like doing fun builds of them. I might make this into like a super off-road Baja racer type thing. Anyways, again, this truck looks sick, honestly. And this brings us to the last build of this video, because I'll make another video where I build the cool car. And this is also honestly a pretty cool truck as well. It's kind of like a Chevy Suburban from back in the day. I call it the Station because like it's kind of like a lifted wagon basically, or because I don't know if they call them SUVs yet. So I just called it like the Station, as in station wagon, and it's like a lifted wagon. That's basically its whole like thing. And And while I was building this one, I was watching a video, again by Plainly Difficult, about people being hung in London back in the day. I don't know why. This is kind of strange. It was kind of entertaining though. And I was listening to the entire album called Clumsy by Our Lady Peace, which is a good album. Saw them live. I'm actually wearing a live shirt right now from the band Live, who was there at that show. I mean, that's kind of weird. Again, I'm going off topic. I'm just kind of, building a station wagon SUV. You can see what's going on. I mean, that kind of sounds like I'm like a kind of a dick right there, but sorry. You can literally see what's going on. I'm just changing tires. But I was there at a concert with a band called Live, which I knew about before I went there. I was kind of happy because I wasn't going there to see Live. But it's a band called Live, and I saw them live. And it's really hard to search up like a song, like a live song, and like a live performance of it, because you have to search up live. Like say you want to listen to All Over You, which is one of their popular songs off of the album Throwing Copper, which is the shirt I have on. So you want to listen to All Over You live, you have to search up All Over You live, and that doesn't work, so you have to say live performance, or just at Woodstock or something. Anyways, the other bands that were there was Bush and Our Lady Peace. Bush was the headline act, they came on last, and Our Lady Peace was the first act. And I kind of feel bad because they were a big band in the mid 90s, or kind of late-ish 90s. And they started playing before it was like even 20% full, but they did amazing. All the bands there did completely amazing, especially Bush. Bush fucking blew it out of the water, man. It's crazy good. And another random fun fact, that concert I was at was released as a album, as a live album, Live in Tampa 2019. I have a shirt from Bush too. It's pretty cool. Funny part about that concert I was at was I sat in ketchup. I was wearing a Red Hot Chili Peppers a white Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt when we were going there, and we went to eat before the show started, and I sat in a booth at this what was it? I think it was like an Outback Steakhouse or something. I sat in a thing of ketchup and didn't know, and it like hardened and got all gross on my like shirt back, and it looked like I was bleeding out my ass. And it was kind of funny. I mean, also embarrassing, but also kind of funny. And anyways, here's the pictures for this car. I'm going to show a bunch of pictures of all the vehicles together, and it might be a little teaser of what the next video is going to be in there. And yeah, until next time, I'm Uncle VENZ. Thank you for watching this 50-minute video. I'll see you guys later. I also have the song Dune Buggy stuck in my head by President of the United States. Why is that song stuck in my head? It's so funny. Rocking through the sand and burning up, a little blue dune buggy in my hand. A little blue dune buggy in the sand.